When you type Endless Legend 2 into YouTube, the first thing you will see is often the title Game of the Year, the best strategy game there is. But is the hype real? Is the early access really worth it? Is it delivering on that promise? I have spent over 50 hours in the game to give you a deliberate answer. And while the game's potential is legendary, the current reality is that something is fundamentally broken. Welcome to What is Wrong with the Endless Legend 2 Early Access. We are not just looking at the minor bugs, we are breaking down the core problems that make every session end prematurely. That includes the broken difficulty and AI, that makes victory too easy, the unbalanced city systems, and the critical quality of life failures. If you're hoping on that Game of the Year experience right now, you need to watch this video first. The simplest way to put it, the difficulty levels are a joke. Playing on the highest difficulty feels like a walk through the park. You can conquer the map with any faction, without any sophisticated tactic. The AI is simply not equipped to manage its economy or its military aggressively enough to pose any threat to you. This lack of challenge is compounded by the victory conditions. Almost every single playthrough I had multiple victory conditions fulfilled, from technology to economy, well before the third Tidefall. The AI is so far behind that the game declares you the winner before you've even had a chance to explore half of the map, which is still under the water. In 5 out of 5 games I haven't even finished the main storyline of the faction before the win popped up. The pacing curve is completely busted. The first Tidefall monsoon is amazing, new lands, new goals, but after the second one, the game just hits a wall. The only new thing after second monsoon are rifts, but at the time you got them, they are so easy to complete that they do not pose any threat to you. The time between the second and third Tidefall is slow, agonizing grind where you're just waiting for the next interesting thing to happen, but it never does, because you've already won. Monsoons, they are supposed to be some kind of shift in the game, change of pace because of the bonuses that are present during this time. But really, once it starts, it feels like it takes forever and you can't wait for the new lands to come in. I feel like the monsoon phase just takes too long to finish. Also, the fortresses that came up after a monsoon are supposed to be major defensive points, but their balance is way off. They feel criminally undertuned, especially after the second monsoon, and are rarely a true challenge. They would be much better with a deep mechanic, maybe a multi-stage defense or siege, to make them the genuine barriers they should be. And finally, on pacing, the quest system has terrible spawning issues. After the first Tidefall, quests often got placed on tiny, inaccessible islands or in distant corners of the map, making them virtually impossible to complete. This breaks the storytelling and leaves you feeling frustrated. Also, one thing you can't tell in the beginning, some fortresses are part of a faction quest, and somebody's quest can spawn just next to your city, and then you are left with a hole in your empire due to fortress you can't conquer, because it is a part of somebody's quest. Now, on the topic of diplomacy. There is no diplomacy. This part of the game has been totally forgotten by the devs. There is no way of negotiating if AI says no to a pact, it won't agree, because there is no system to bargain with it. Also, trading goods with other empires? Nope, that also doesn't exist. You are only able to sell goods on a global market. There was one particular time that diplomacy got me really cooked. I got an empire declare a closed borders with me, but a quest, faction quest, spawned on the other side of that empire. There was no option for me to negotiate, I just needed to declare a war in order just to march through that empire. The core city building mechanic is flawed by an optimization trap. While planning districts is fun, you quickly realize that building constant city upgrades is superior to districts. Once you hit a certain point, districts became completely unavailable, giving marginal benefits compared to the huge boost from simple stackable upgrades. It's a fun mechanic that just does not hit the math, it needs rebalancing. The rewards for quests and tech often feel completely out of sync with the game's progression. It's incredibly demoralizing to complete a late game quest of having 7 laboratories only to receive a 25% technology cost reduction. from a tier 2 tech tree, when I'm already in the tier 4 tech. The rewards must scale appropriately to the effort. Moving on to quality of life, one small thing I constantly hated was the notification bar. Having to constantly close and open it, toggling between the information, is a tedious task. I wish it was just persistent. Apart from this, the UI is mostly great, but this one toggle is a constant source of frustration to me. Multiple times I forgot about an important notification because I forgot to click on it. The rifts right now are without a deep meaning. They should be a thorn in your side, difficult to deal with, building up pressure over time, but when you have thousands of golds in the bank and closing a rift rewards you with meaningless 30 gold, you just clear them for the victory condition. They need to be more threatening and more rewarding to engage with. I love how the game tells you that once you clear a rift you will be rewarded with stacks of gold and then just gives you a couple of coins. The current limited faction roster is also a point of friction to me. With a map size for 6 players, you're guaranteed to have a race repetition if you play a standard game. It really highlights the early access status, and speaking of early access, the feedback system is terrible. I need to log into a server and create an account to give some feedback. Honestly, making this entire video was easier to me than going through the official process. We need simple one-click in-game bug reports. Is that really so hard to understand for the developers? Despite all the problems, the core vision of Endless Legend 2 is brilliant. The Tidefall and Monsoon system is generally revolutionary. It solves the biggest problem of every other 4X game, the feeling that after a certain turn, there is nothing left to discover. The dynamic map constantly refreshes the game, creating new discovery opportunities and conflicts due to limited resources. Amplitude remains the master of world building. Each of the faction is amazingly designed. The history, the storytelling, the feeling of playing each one is totally unique. Their complexity and asymmetry are the high points of the game, making you want to play just to experience their narrative. The hero development is also fantastic. The individual skill trees give you a great choice of freedom to specialize however you want. And the small races, they are amazing, each one with its own history and story that enriches the world. These elements show us the true potential of the final product. So, where do we land? Endless Legend 2 is a future masterpiece with terrible early access problems. The core idea is amazing, but the broken difficulty, the premature victories and the poor city balance, it makes it frustrating. My final verdict, if you are a die-hard fan of Endless Legend 1 who wants to really experience the amazing new faction, the Tidefall mechanic, which is amazing, and is willing to put up with the whole AI and balance issues, dive in. But if you want a polished, challenging strategy 4X game that lasts past the first Tidefall, you absolutely need to wait. All of those issues were mostly balancing, so I hope it won't take long to get them properly resolved by the developers. What do you think? Have you already played the game? Have you thought about buying the early access? I've did it, and I think I do not regret it. I really liked it, but those balance issues got me off guard, to be honest. Let me know your biggest frustration in the comments, or did you buy or didn't buy because of the video. If you want to keep up with my coverage of the Endless Legend 2 evolution, please hit that subscribe button, and thank you for the watching, and I'll see you in the next one.